Before the ball is bowled, Sangakkara initially sets up with an open stance around leg stump. The purpose of this is not to get too far across his stumps, which would make him vulnerable to being trapped LBW. Just before the ball is released, he has a movement back and across from the back foot around the line of middle and leg. This is Sangakkara's signature trigger movement that many of us have seen over the years. The back and across movement sees him sit deep in the crease. Just before the ball pitches, he begins to move onto the front foot. What this and other examples will show is that Sangakkara looks to pick length early before committing to his shots. This is where the movement back in the crease serves its purpose. It allows more time to line up the delivery. From this position, we can see that Sangakkara has a solid base position from the bend of the knees. At the point of contact, it's interesting to see that Sangakkara is not fully in position to drive the ball. It looks like he's playing away from the body and is not completely forward. What is important to note is that Sangakkara has forward momentum on the drive, meaning that the weight from the bend of the knees is moving him into the shot. Additionally, the head, bat and feet are pointing in the direction he wants to hit the ball. Also, he knows he's facing Brett Lee and recognises that timing and using the pace of the ball is effective against express pace. As he completes the drive, he holds the pose, showing the high elbow, indicating the control of the shot. We see the collapse of the back knee and the bend of the front knee, indicating the forward momentum I mentioned earlier. In this example, Sangakkara punches the ball and relies on timing. In this second example, Sangakkara once again has the initial back and across movement from the back foot before the ball is released. Just before the ball pitches, he begins to move onto the front foot, and the back knee is bent, beginning to slightly collapse. As I mentioned earlier, Sangakkara doesn't have big movements to the ball. He relies on the transfer of the weight forward or back. That doesn't necessarily mean he's always to the pitch of the ball, but the focus is ensuring he's moving the weight into the shot. Here, he drops the back knee and keeps a solid bend of the front knee. Focusing around this base setup, this is what I believe allows him to control his shots. The excellent bend of the knees keeps him low and allows him to create the momentum moving into the shot. Here, he middles the ball and plays the ball under his eyes. He holds the pose with the high elbow, showcasing the control he has of the shot from the top hand. In this final example, we'll go over the trigger and positioning once again. Sangakkara moves back and across from the back foot. Just before the ball pitches, he moves onto the front foot. The back knee begins to collapse, and keeping a solid bend of the knees and slight bend of the back knee, he punches and times the ball. As he completes the shot, we see the high elbow. The end pose shows us that the head, bat and body are pointing in the direction he wants to hit the ball, and it also highlights how he leans the weight into the shot.